Effects of earthworms on nematode communities. The effects of earthworms on nematode communities, free-living or phytonematodes, can be analyzed under 4 different situations. First, the effects of earthworms on the populations of nematodes during the vermicomposting process of unstabilized organic residues. Second, the effects of the products generated by the action of earthworms, vermicompost, or the byproducts, vermicompost tea, as controlling agents of phytonematodes. Third, when soil interaction only occurs between worms and nematodes. And fourth, when the interaction of earthworms and phytonematodes occurs in the presence of plants, the latter being more complex, with greater variability of results and thus greater difficulty of interpretation. Because of the high diversity of organisms involved and the ecological complexity of soils, the interactions between earthworms and nematodes have been completely dependent on the particularities of the surveys conducted. Dominguez et al. Evaluated the effects of Acinia fetida earthworms worldwide used in vermicomposting, on the population of free-living nematodes, bacteriophages and fungivorous, in cattle manure and sewage sludge. In both substrates, bacteriophage nematode populations were reduced during the evaluated period in the presence of earthworms. However, assessment of the fluctuations in nematode populations revealed that fungivorous communities were more affected by the presence of oligochaetes. The fungi represent one of the main food sources for earthworms, which might explain the greater effect of vermicompost on fungivorous populations than on bacteriophage populations. Conversely, earthworms can also facilitate the dispersion of these microorganisms by the excretion of their spores in the coprolites. However, the dispersion of nematophagus fungi by earthworms might also be responsible for the reduction of the nematode populations in the substrates evaluated. Monroy et al. Also observed a reduction of bacteriophage populations by the activity of several earthworm species. Kokia et al. Showed that the changes in nematode communities by earthworms did not occur only at the population level, but rather led to the restructuring of all biodiversity when these invertebrates were present. Fungivore nematode abundance, mean plus or minus SE, in the presence and absence of the earthworm Acinia andri during vermicomposting of cow manure. The figure includes the results of repeated measures ANOVA for the presence of earthworms. Source, redrawn from. The effect of earthworms on nematode populations can be attributed to the direct ingestion and digestion, or reduction by indirect effects. The indirect effect is attributed to the reduction of fungal populations by integrating the diet of the earthworms, thereby reducing communities of fungivorous nematodes. Although the action of vermicompost earthworms shows the reduction of populations of free-living nematodes, the application of vermicompost in soils has shown to have adverse effects. Arancon et al. Observed a reduction of the communities of plant parasitic nematodes after the application of vermicompost from different plant materials. However, considering the effect similar to the use of organic compounds in this experiment, the addition of organic materials to the soil was assumed to increase the availability of food for fungivorous and bacteriophage nematodes, increasing the competition between them with other groups. Gabor et al. Also observed this effect of vermicompost application on the populations of the plant parasitic nematode Rhodolenchulus reniformis. In addition to vermicompost, recent studies have shown that the application of vermicompost tea has the potential to control plant parasitic nematodes. In this sense, Edwards et al. Observed a significant suppression in the number of galls caused by meloidogen haplon tomato crop when the plants were subjected to aerated vermicompost tea. Mean numbers of meloidogen haplogalls, mean plus or minus SE, on tomato roots infested with the nematodes and treated with soil drenches of vermicompost tea. Columns with different letters are significantly different, p.